Hello, beautiful. My name is Louise Nunga. I am a mom. I am an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. I am a proud hair braider. I'm an author. I do many things. And on this channel, we'll discuss mindsets, strategies, tips on how you can turn your gift or your talent or your skill into a God-gifted business. So for those of you that are hair braiders, please be sure to click on the link below to sign up to get a free one-on-one consultation for your hair business with me, free of charge. I'm not selling anything. Just click the link below and let's chit chat. So let's go right into what you see on the title. And I'm actually driving right now. I have a massage, I was so due for a body massage. I've been sore in all kind of places and pulling strands, all kind of places. And so I just was like, instead of doing this in my office, this pretty much is my life, being in my car, as a mom, being busy running from one place to another, and as a serial entrepreneur with multiple businesses. This is like literally my mobile office. I tell people I love driving because I drive a lot, number one, as well, but also because really it's my meditation time. I get to think when I'm driving. I get my alone time. I get to either meditate, play some music, turn up, think about, the past, the future, the present, and all of that good stuff. So how do we do being a mommy and being an entrepreneur? Mom plus entrepreneurship. And like I said in my other video, that I would say mom plus business owner, but really business owner and entrepreneurship is really two different things, because as a business, anybody can be a business owner, but it takes a special type of person. And I'm sorry if this video is a little bit or a lot, blurry, because the sun is so beautiful today. So pardon me if it's not my best quality video, but I promise you the content is still going to be great. So anyway, a lot of people ask me a lot of times, how do I handle being a mom, especially to young toddlers, and even when they were babies? How do I handle being a mom and also being an entrepreneur? And over the years, I've really learned quite a few things. I've made some mistakes. I've learned some things that I wanted to share, because a lot of you that show up on my comments are women, and I'm assuming some of you are probably mothers. Some of you are wives. And I've been a wife, I've been a mom. I've kind of done a little bit of both. Well, not a little bit of both, but I mean, my children are still growing. But yeah, I've done both. So what really worked for me are a couple of things. Number one, I really had to overcome the mindset of I can't do it because my kids are young, or I can't do it because of my kids, or I can't do it because I'm a mom. I had to overcome that mindset, because I have to also make sure that whatever God put me on this earth to do, I want to be done with it. I want to accomplish it, because I wasn't created just to be a mom. Before I became a mom, I had dreams, I had goals, I had aspirations, and I really want to make sure that when I leave this earth, I have done everything I was created to do. So for me, that was really easy to overcome, because I'm a very driven person. I wouldn't say I'm not the hardest working person. People think that I'm so hardworking, but it's really not that. It's just that I am very driven by the vision that I get, or the vision that I see for my life, that it pushes me to go ahead and push the boundaries. So number one, you have to overcome the mindset of I can't do it because I'm a mom. A lot of people that I talk to, that I counsel sometimes, that are mothers, that have that excuse, I really do let them know that that's an excuse. I have friends that are doing it. I have a friend who's a mom. She has 3 kids. She's working on her PhD. She's a full-time engineer and the wife. It's been done before. It's not something that cannot be done. The only reason why maybe you feel that way is either you're using it as an excuse because you're afraid to actually walk into that business, or to actually do what you're called to do, because you probably lack faith, or you have other insecurities that you're masking it with being a mom. So I really, with that, I'm like, girl, you can do it. What is really, 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 really the main problem? I used to carry my newborn baby to go do store deliveries for my food products. I remember I have pictures of every one of them in the store with me. I actually released my first food product when I was pregnant with my firstborn. And when she was 3 months old, we went to do our first taste table at one of our local grocery stores here called Casey's Foods. And so since then, my kids have just kind of been part of the business. Even if you go on my Instagram page or on our website, you'll see a lot of professional photo shoots I have with my kids, because they've kind of grown with me in the business. I'm using their bus. I'm like, listen, y'all gonna pay for y'all college tuition, okay? So you gonna help mommy make this money. I need you to smile. I need you to say the script, what I tell you to say, because we's gonna make it. We's gonna make it. I'm a single mom. And for those of you that are like, oh, I'm a single mom. Well, guess what? I'm a single mom as well, and I'm still able to do it. And those of you that are married, that you feel like, okay, I'm married. When I was married, I was still doing business too. And I'm not saying that to say that I can do it all and so da-da-da-da. I'm just here to give you guys something that you need to see. For you to grow in your faith, you need to be hearing and you need to be seeing faith, to see things that inspire you. And so that's all I'm here trying to do, is really to make sure that somebody's telling you that it's first of all doable. So change your mindset. Now, for those of you that were able to take the leap and you are in business, or you've kind of tasted it, or you're kind of trying to multitask, right? And maybe you are not finding that balance between being a mom, even if it's a newborn, maybe breastfeed. I used to breastfeed in my car. Like literally, I would have my pump on my chest, had the pumping bra on. If I tell you how many trucks have driven past me and honked, I'm like, listen, mind your business. Now, I hated it. It was too much work, but I'm like, I got to do what I got to do. So I will literally pump in between drives in my car, and then have a cooler to put the breast milk in. So, yeah, brings back a lot of interesting memories. I won't say fun memories. It was not fun. But yeah, so those of you that have started, whether you're a working mom or you are a business owner or an entrepreneur, and you're trying to find that balance, and maybe you're on the verge of giving up because you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick and choose, and I can't choose. My kids are already here, so it's not like I can choose not to be a mother. So maybe I'll put the business down right now and just be a full-time mom until they're old enough, and then I'll pick it back up. Trust me, if you drop the ball right now, it takes way more time to pick it back up. Trust me on that one. It's like running, right? So my fitness coach let me know that I was doing something wrong. Every time I would walk or try to run or jog when I'm working out, I would get so tired. Like I just said, I'm allergic to running. I'm allergic to running, because when I'm running or jogging, my thighs be itching, I be out of breath, my whole body be rejecting it. I'm like, listen, some people are just not called to be jogging or running. But she gave me the tips. Lack of knowledge, people perish. She'll get you some knowledge, even if you have to pay for it. Like I said, paying for knowledge is worth it. And she was like, no, what you're doing is wrong. Don't walk in between jogging or running. Make sure you take a complete stop, so that way you catch your breath and then you sprint back again. And when I tried that, I'm like, wait a minute. I ran for 30 minutes without walking. Not like nonstop now. I had to stop like every 3-5 minutes. The sister can't do, I'm not there yet. But I was able to burn more calories. I was able to run, because what she let me know is that if you walk in between jogs, you get tired. Your body will go into a rest zone. And so it will be so much more work to really get yourself back up to jog. And it's the same thing if you drop that business now to be a full-time mom. It's the same thing with your air conditioner. The air conditioning companies, or what the gas company tell us, keep your air conditioner at a certain degree, and don't keep flipping it up and down, because it works up. If you put it low and then you come back and put it high, it spends more. You spend more money on energy to really get it back up to. So it's better to just keep it at a stable condition. Just keep it consistent. And it's the same thing for entrepreneurship. If you've already started, you've tested the waters, don't drop it. Figure out how you can, kind of find your way through it, but don't drop the ball. And how do you do that? How do you balance both? Like I said, when you overcome that mindset, you've actually started. Or maybe you started and you got pregnant and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do both. You can do it. First of all, you have to believe you can do it. A lot of people are doing it. Your case is not that special. It's not that bad. It's not that rare. So it is the same thing with any other person that is doing it. And I would recommend following those people on social media, talking to those people that are doing it and getting knowledge on how to do it instead of dropping the ball. Timing. So with that said, how do you balance both? Like I said, I figured ways around it. I used to pump in my car. I used to, number one thing is getting help, making sure that you're able, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and you're able to do your business from home, even better. That's great. If you can't stay at home, with my first, I was able to stay with her longer and take care of her longer because I was able to work my schedule out where I could be home more and then less time out. If you're not, but with my second, honey, she was in daycare from 6. I was like, it's 6 weeks. It's too early. It's too late. Can y'all take her from a week old or whatever? Because I trusted my daycare. I love them. I've been with Sunbrook Academy for a long period of time, so I trust them. So with the second one, I was ready to dump her. I was ready to be like, I gotta go. So 2 days after the hospital, I was in Walmart buying ingredients to make my products or whatever. And so it's doable. It's just you have to ask for help. If you need a babysitter, I tell mothers, especially single mothers, what's going on? Especially single mothers, that do your best to get help. I'm sorry, guys. I'm driving and my video quality is tripping on me. But yeah, I tell single mothers to do their best to make sure that they get help. The number one thing is that you want to find that help, that babysitter, and pay for it and invest in it, even if you can do it part-time, because you need that alone time to be able to think. You need that alone time to be able to work. And so being attached to your baby doesn't help either one of you. So start part-time. If it's 1 day a week, if it's 2 days a week that you can actually pay somebody, even if it's $20 a day or whatever, don't say, oh, I'm home already. Even if you're going to stay home, have somebody that can babysit for you. Go to the library, go somewhere, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere. But you need to spend time apart from your child to be able to think outside of being a mom. Because if you're home and you say, well, I'm working from home anyways, I don't need somebody to take care of my child, I can do it, it's still going to block you because you're going to be on mommy brains. So I always say, hey, if you can if you can put them in daycare when they're old enough for you to be comfortable to put them in daycare, go ahead and do that if you can afford it. It will save both of you so much. They get to grow more being around other kids and having somebody that has them in the system that they can follow and all that great stuff. So try to find some alone time, and then don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about the fact that, okay, you do have to spend time away from your kids. For those of you, I'm not driving right now. I'm at a red light. For those of you that have to, don't feel guilty about spending time away from your baby or from your child, because you're doing that for both of you. My kids, my oldest is 6 right now. My youngest is 4. And they love seeing me do business, especially my oldest. She just loves seeing me in business mood. When she comes with me, when she rides with me, they enjoy it. So it's not something that she complains about and suffered from, because I was able to, with business, you have the flexibility to include them in the process. So she loves, photo shoot days or video shoot or just helping in the kitchen. She'll literally cry. And I give her a little salary, a little paycheck. And then that makes it even more fun for her. So don't feel guilty about it. I know there was a period of time that my kids were spending 60 hours a week in daycare. I did the math one time and I was like, oh my God, this is too much. Because they both were full time. That was when I was going through my transition, becoming a single mom. They were spending 60 hours, literally full time, Monday through Friday. And I'm like, no. I woke up one night and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start bringing my youngest with me to the office. And I literally would bring her to the office. I had her area set up and I would bring her to the office and she had her iPad and we'll just make it work. So I made it work, at least for a period of time. And then her butt was back in daycare. So I just wanted to spend those, early stages with her like I did with my oldest. So yeah, and don't feel bad about it. I felt bad about it, and somebody spoke to me and said, "Hey, you do not need to feel bad about that. You are doing the best that you can as a mom, going through a divorce and figuring out how to be a single mom. How do I?" And it took some getting used to. It was a whole process. I've had some breakdowns because I'm running from one hair appointment and I'm late to pick up my daughter from daycare and I'm not having no help with nobody else. And so I had those days where it was very frustrating. I had to have some tears in the car, but it got easier and I figured my way out. But don't drop the ball. I didn't drop the ball. There were some appointments that I had to take my daughters with. I don't recommend that, but there were some appointments, if they were sick and the daycare would not take them or they weren't feeling fine, I will let my clients know, hey, this is my situation. Do you want to reschedule, or do you want me to be able, do you not mind me bringing my child with me? And some of them rescheduled and some of them said, you can bring her. It worked out. So don't feel like you are a terrible mother. Even now that they're older, because I'm running 2 businesses and doing all that I'm doing, I'm not able to play with them every single day where, okay, we're going to play with the Barbie dolls and we're going to, have activities all the time, because they want to play every day. I don't have that time, because when I get home with them, I'm already tired. I just want to cuddle with them. I want to kiss on them. I want to lay in my bed and watch TV with them, or just watch TV by myself. And my oldest would be like, Mommy, you never play with us. You never do anything with us. And I would feel bad. And one of my clients was like, no, do not do that. Do not let her make you feel bad because she's watching other kids on YouTube doing things. I am so sorry about this lighting, guys. Doing things with your parents on YouTube, and then make you feel like you're not being a great parent. She's like, you need to have that conversation with her and let her know that mommy is working, so mommy cannot be there with you 24/7. And so I had to have that conversation with her, finally have the conversation. I'm like, listen. And I'm like, kids be having amnesia when it comes to fun, candy, and all of that, or whatever, where they will make you feel guilty if you let them. They'll make you feel guilty, even if that's not what you're doing, they'll make you feel guilty. And so I had a conversation, and I'm like, no, Sydney, no, you can't say, Mom, this is the first, I finally, a few days ago, we put a trampoline together, just me and my girls. We put our first trampoline together. We're like, yeah, we did it on our own, because I was thinking I needed to hire some man to come do it. And I'm like, we didn't need anybody. We could do this on our own. And she was like, yeah, first, Mommy, this is the first time we're doing something together. I'm like, child, you lie. You lie. We do a lot of things. Now, we may not do it every day, or maybe sometimes not every week, but Mommy always makes time to we always have fun activities. And when we do it, we go all out. We travel, we do things, and all of that. And I'm like, don't you remember this? And she's like, yeah, I remember that. I just couldn't. And I'm like, well, you need to remember that, because Mommy's working hard, and you see Mommy working hard, but we're not going to be able to play every single day. That's what you have your sister for. And glory to God, she got a sister. I tell you, every single person that I was offended when they told me to have a second one close in age with the first, so they can play and leave me alone, and I thought they were from the devil, they were so right, because that was a blessing. That has been a blessing, where they both can go play and leave me the heck alone. And so I told her that, and she understood, and I reminded her of all the things we've done, the trips we've taken, the dates I take them on Valentine's Day. Every Valentine we go on a date, on a Valentine's date. I visit your school with Valentine's. Like, I make sure I have special moments with my kids. So I had to remind her, so I can remind, and not only to remind her, but I had to have that conversation to also remind myself that I'm doing the best I can, and I'm a great mom, and I'm spending enough time with them and teaching them at the same time. Because at the end of the day, there is no such thing as balance. That whole trying to find balance of being a mom, a daughter, a wife, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a boss lady, no. There is no such thing. You just kind of have to, some things are going to suffer for a season, and some things are gonna have to, flourish for a season. And you just take breaks, and you just kind of switch and find the days that you can be, a special, you can create a special moment with your kids and be a full-time mom, the days that you can be a full-time wife, the activities that you can be a full-time, you can be fully present in that moment. But there is no such thing as in finding that perfect balanced life where you can do it all. It's not possible. Some things are going to suffer there's going to be a plus and negative in different seasons. And you just kind of have to communicate with people around you so that they understand what you're doing and what your goals are. And it's not always going to be like that, but I wouldn't trade being an entrepreneur and a mom at the same time for anything, because it gives me more flexibility to be able to take those moments where I feel like, today I feel like being mommy full-time, and I can do that. And then, the next day I pick up where I left off for my business. So that's another thing. Do not feel guilty. Don't let your kids guilt trip you. Don't let your spouse guilt trip you. Don't let anybody in your circle make you feel like you're doing too much and you're not being a great mom, or you're not spending enough time with your mom. Figure activities that you can do with your kids as well. For example, I went to North Carolina last weekend for a day just to go drop off some orders at some grocery stores for my food product, Auntie's iFoods. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my kids with me. But then I was like, no, the younger one is going to give me a hard time. She's 4 and she's special. She's a special, not special like, but just special, because she pulls on every string, every muscle in my body. So I'm like, this one's going to give me a hard time. Let me take the oldest. And the oldest, I haven't spent one-on-one time with her for a minute. The youngest one I did one-on-one with her a few weeks ago. But the oldest, I had not done one-on-one. So I took her with me to North Carolina. She loved it. She was the one that would carry the sample boxes. She had her script to go say, hey, would you like to try some of our Auntie's iFoods products? It's so delicious, and da-da-da-da. And she would do that. One of the stores actually tipped her $20. And I also have to pay her $10 for her good job. But yeah, so I took her with me, and we're able to do that. We spent the night in a hotel. She was just awesome. She was happy. So things like that, you get to create different kind of memories. The memories that we create may not be me playing dolls with her, or me, going to the backyard and play with them every single time. It's new kinds of memories. It's the memories of I went to North Carolina with my mom, I worked with my mom. I went to the commercial kitchen to package my mom's products, and we'll package, listen to music and all of that. So create new memories around your business, and it doesn't have to be the same memories that we have thought that is supposed to be the typical, stereotypical kind of memories with your kids. Be innovative with that and be creative. Another tip, I think I've covered, change your mindset. Do not drop the ball. Don't give up. And there's no such thing as balance. You do what you can, and then figure ways to spend time with your kids. So that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any other thing that I think that's pretty much how I've been able to be a mom with babies and really go through the transition of being, a solo parent, and then also making sure that my businesses don't suffer. And that's how I've been able to do it. So I hope this blesses some mother out there, or a future mom, a mom to be. Just know that you can do it. Change your mindset. Figure it out while you're still doing it. Don't give up. It's not when it gets tough that you got to drop the ball. When I went through my divorce and having 2 businesses and having 2 babies, my youngest was 10 months old at the time, I could take a break. I took a break. My business slowed down, but I didn't drop it completely, because I did have to take more moments to try to fix myself and to make sure that inside of me I was healing properly, and I took the time out to do that. So if you do need to take the time out, take a pause, not really a pause, but take a time out to heal. Maybe you needed to figure something out. You needed to slow down for a week, or you needed to take 2 weeks, or you need to take a few days off to figure something out, or I kept re-strategizing. In every season of difficulties as being a single parent and being a mom, I had to re-strategize literally, sometimes it felt like I was re-strategizing every month. That's another thing too. I think that would be the last tip, is that learn to be flexible and just know that you got to just keep re-strategizing. Kids can adapt to anything. They can adapt to any situation. So don't feel like if you change things up a lot, it will mess them up. Now, I'm not talking about moving, or I'm not talking about the major things or schools and stuff like that, or major things, but I'm saying like the basic day-to-day activities, you can re-strategize. Even with schools, there was a time where I had to take my youngest out of school. Like I said, I wanted to spend more time with her, so she had to stop daycare and I stayed with her for probably a month or two, and then she went back. I just couldn't do it. And then there was a time where I couldn't even afford to have both of them. I'm sorry, y'all, for this quality, but I think you guys are still getting the knowledge, and that's the most important thing. My face is the least important thing. But yeah, there was a time where I couldn't afford having both kids in daycare simultaneously, and I had to find a cheaper daycare for that season to be able to still afford having both of them in daycare. And so things like that, you got to do what you got to do. She don't remember going to a different daycare for a season, the youngest one. She was maybe 1 or less than 1, and I took her to a new daycare that was cheaper. Still great quality, it was just cheaper. And she only went there for maybe 2 months or 3 months until I got my finances back in order, and then she went back to the original daycare that I love, but which is more expensive. And so we just re-strategize. There's a season that during the summer, both of them, I had to have an in-house nanny that would come, or somebody that I would drop off, not an in-house nanny, but a nanny that I would drop the kids off at during the summer. And there's just been so many re-strategizing. That is like, I had to always change. Sometimes it was a weekly base where I would change my calendar, my scheduling, my appointments based on whatever that week brought with my kids. I just had to re-strategize. So learn how to re-strategize, even if you have to do it on a week-to-week base, till you find a long-term strategy, and it will come. It's not impossible. You will go through the days that you cry. You will go through the days that you feel like a bad mom, but please let it just be a moment. Let it not be something that becomes permanent in your mind that causes you to drop the ball, to drop the business, or to drop, the vision. Still keep pushing, still keep re-strategizing and figuring things out. And eventually, while you're doing that, they're getting older. And now we're in a perfect season right now. The oldest is 6. She's so independent. It's scary sometimes, but she can do pretty much everything for herself. Literally, she wakes up on her own. She gets ready for school. She barely needs me, really. The youngest one also is coming to herself. She's 4. She's able to do the basic things. She's able to dress herself up and do what she needs to do. So as they get older, I'm so thankful and so grateful that I didn't drop the ball, because then now I will be back to restarting and refiguring out how to do my business and all of that stuff. Meanwhile, there were a lot of lessons that I had to learn during that process in my business. There were a lot of mistakes I had to make to be able to get to the phase where I am right now, where I'm ready for that next level. I'm prepared for it. Not just that I'm ready just to say it, but literally I've prepared myself for elevation. I've prepared myself for that big breakthrough doing the work, So I hope this blesses somebody out there. Keep it pushing, moms. Keep it pushing, ladies. And I will see you on the next video. Do not forget to subscribe. Share this with another mom. If you know moms out there, you have a family member who's a mom and they're struggling with that, share this video with them. Knowledge is power. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.